A very good morning to all our dear viewers, and welcome to this talk conducted by Global Education and Training Institute. Today, in this talk series, we have with us none other than Miss Devaroti Dutta Roy, an educator par excellence. She is associated with DAV Public School, Cuttack, Odisha, and is also known to be a famous student success and parenting coach. Ma'am, we welcome you wholeheartedly. Today, the topic that ma'am is going to discuss with us and give her insight into is the moral values and education. She was a cost accountant and now turned into educator and currently mentors to the perception and touches the heart with the principle of NLP and graphology. She has worked with various CBSE schools for more than 3 decades with 50,000 students across India. She has been educated as the teacher with head and heart of the principal of the first CBSE school of Odisha. She has also authored a book titled Parenting the Adolescent. She loves decoding secrets of Indian cultural heritage and very strongly and firmly believes that the quality of life is directly proportionate to the quality of our thoughts. Ma'am, we welcome you here to this talk conducted by Global Education and thanks for joining your hands with the Disruptive Education Movement led by Dr. Sunita Gandhi. Over to you, ma'am, for today's speech.
Good afternoon, one and all. I am Devaroti Rai from Cuttack, Odisha. Yes, thank you, ma'am Sunita, for a great introduction. Now, today's topic, and I'm very much obliged to this institute to give me the chance to speak, to express my feelings. I have been a teacher for a long time. I have seen many children, and my heart cries about the moral values, the value system which we are. Is, you will agree with me, is deteriorating. It is not the child's fault only. We are also a part to it. Now, how to connect this to the education? Education doesn't only mean that making the children able to read, write, and have a proper position in the society. There is a moral aspect of education also. Come on, let us discuss how we can do it.
Ma'am, before we proceed ahead, can I have your PPT on the screen because I cannot see it still?
It's okay, madam?
Yes, now it's very clearly visible and we can move ahead with it, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, okay, thank you, ma'am. Now, the first thing, the values and education. Who is linked with the child and who is a child? Now, this child, the human being, the child, every human being is born with a body and mind to rule the body and, and is taught in the world. Means that when a child is born to a parent, the child is just a lump. He's taught everything on this world. First lesson, where does he learn the love? The child feels the love in his mom's arms. Then joy. He wants to enjoy the joys. He wants to know what joy is. And when the daddy comes and hugs the child, and does the lollipop, there the child is able to know what is joy. Peace of mind. Mother is happy, mother is grateful, child understands peace, patience. There are many problems in the family, and the child comes to know that in the father's voice. How? Any problem? Father is there. Yes. Have patience. I'm there. We will solve it out. Here the child learns what is patience. Then we come. How does he learn kindness? Kindness. You see your mother touching the little child. How the mother touches, that touch gives the feeling of kindness. He learns kindness from mother's touch and faithfulness from mother's prayer. Oh, child is coming with a problem, telling, Mama, this is happening or that is happening. I'm very worried. Uh, Mama is saying, don't worry, my child. Come, with the sit near God. Let's pray. He will solve the problem. He will. This is faith. This is required. And gentleness when the daddy gives a stone to the child. And self control. This is also a virtue which the human being is required to have. One should be self control. These are the virtues which are very essential for a human life. And God knows when I send a child to the parent, he believes in the mankind that the parent will surely will imbibe these virtues in the child. And there we make the family. Now, see, children are the expression of God's faith on mankind, isn't it? God will stop the entire process of evolution if he thinks that the child is not taken care of. Now, this child grows up under the care of the family. Then, next he comes to the society, he comes to the school, he goes other places, meets the family, friends, and others. He is in presence of the society. Now, this sorry, society. Now, diamond human being is a social being, staying in a society and following its norm. Art is nature. We cannot go beyond the society in which we. This society gives every human being three aspects: the behavioral conformity, the cultural conformity, the moral conformity. Now, before going further, let me find out what with you what is conformity. Why conformity is required? Because unless I go, conformity is to be able to become similar in behavior, form, nature, or character. The act of changing oneself to fit agreed upon social expectation established customs and ideas to avoid out- standing out. Now, see, everywhere in the society we want to be recognized. Recognized? Yes. How? To do something which the society will accept. Isn't it our desire? Every human being, whether it's child or you or me, will have has the same desire confirmed by others. Oh, just think of one single example when you come to a place and someone is saying, "Oh, you are dressed properly. Ah, you are looking very good." How does it feel? How does it feel you? Ah, I'm very happy. Similarly, you are also happy. This is conformity. Now, this now then comes the behavioral conformity. Now, what is behavioral conformity? The tendency to make one's action comply with the prevailing norms, irrespective of one's personal beliefs, distinct, therefore form the authentic conformist who endorses norms and behaviors alike. Now, here in the picture, you can see two groups that we have a general tendency, particularly in India, that when the girls are there, we generally offer the seat. We don't want the boys taking the seat and girls standing and talking in any conversation or any place. That is not allowed. And here you see the boy is offering the seat to the girl and making them comfortable and making himself up. Why he is doing? Why this behavior? Because we give to a nation that ladies first. Ladies should be made comfortable before the gents. This is the norm. And that is the behavior we respect. And in the international scenario, you see, we are known for this attitude, hospitality. This simple thing that respect of ladies, you can find this thing everywhere in the buses, trains. If a lady is standing, we try the men associate who are there trying to make the lady sit. This is our behavior because the society accepts and the society expects us to do all this thing. This is the social conformity and a child observing. Mind, a child is a very good observer. He doesn't do what you are preaching or telling to him. He rather observes and follows your behavior. That is, the child also learns this behavior. Then, the cultural part, cultural part of it. Every society has a culture. I have taken the example of the dress. Dressing sense, you can say, or the dresses, what we wear is the cultural expression. See, we in India, our national dress is sari. Ladies generally prefer to wear the saris. And so we are, well, And when we say the other dresses or other things, other saris or salwar kameez, that is the dresses or mekla chadar for the northeast, for the ladies generally. And this is the culture we say. And when we see the person dressed in any other way, we just don't know, he's any that. And so cultural, uh, through the dress, I want to say there is a cultural conformity. What is that? Cultural conformity denotes the agreement between a person's behavior and the standard determined by a group or a culture. Now, it doesn't mean that all the ladies of India should be wearing the saris or salwar kameez. No, it doesn't mean that. But sari is generally accepted. Oh, you are when the girl grows a little, you try to say dress properly. And dress properly, how? Wear a sari, salwar kameez, or something. We want. It has been decided in India that we want to see them in that. That is our culture. Now, when confirmed, diversity is also there, means thinking independently. That doesn't mean that when I wear a sari, I look down upon the ladies who are wearing the Western dress. No, that is not the thing. The thing, one who wears it's his. But the society accepts, wants its ladies to wear. Thus, the traditional dress, because that is what traditions are. We want them. Same goes with the fooding, same goes with the behavior. You don't behave. The child is talking in a loud voice. Hey, why are you talking so loud to the elders? We generally comment. We are not accustomed to talk like that. Are we not saying this type of things to our children? Generally, we say. Why? Because it's our culture to be polite. Now, the next thing comes the most important thing, moral conformity. Every society, everywhere, we have a moral acceptance of certain things which are called moral. Moral means relating to the belief about what is right and what is wrong. Moral is and every society has got that thing, what is right and what is wrong. Now, here are some of the examples. I've tried to show out some examples which are considered to be the moral foundation of the children. Now, this something is caring. Caring. We are required to be planting trees and taking care of the trees is the most important way to teach the child how to be caring. Now, this is planting. If we indulge gardening among our children, We say the child will sow the seeds, plant them, and take care of the tree. Very interesting. And hereby, he will learn to care the things. Now, the child is expected to be fair in his dealings, just and fair. When he's dealing with someone, he should be just and fair. Respect. Indians are known for their respect. We write just our address to the elders. We hesitate. Now, with the English, the Western, sorry, but the Western influence, we have started using ma'am and sir. But what? We try to create a relation. If he's elder to you, you say, you address him as your brother, bhaiya, or the younger ones. We generally use this word son when the outsiders come and see. When we use the beta or beti. Word is the common, which is on our tongue, which exhibit our respect and fellow feelings, relationship, and loyalty is another great quality. Whatever you do, unless you are devoted and you are loyal to what you do, you cannot succeed. These are some of the moral things which every society does. Now, let us decide what moral values are. Moral values are the key components of a person's character. See, what I feel, according to me, you may be a doctor, you may be an engineer, or whatever you may be, even bigger. But what you are as a human being, are you kind? Are you loving? Are you loyal? Are you caring? These exhibits you, and that is only appealing to another person, because he also wants this. See how very beautifully the thing is. I am my right. It is my duty to be loyal, to be respectful, to be caring, to be loving towards others. And what do I want from others? I want them to be loyal, to be respectful, to be caring, and all these virtues, isn't it? Their lives, because then only we will be tied up together in the sense of humanity, fellow feelings, and will give give us humanity, which is a very essential thing in our life. We want to be human. The nothing matters. But if you are a human being, you have been made to be human. You are a human being. And if you don't have humanity, everything else is gone down. Just to say it, इंसान हो, इंसानियत से नाता कैसे न जोड़ोगे? You are a human being. You have to keep humanity with you. And that is done through the moral values. These are the moral values. Without that, now we human beings, we are able to think. Yes, we are the thing. That is why we are bestowed with mind by God. Mind is a mindset or mind. We are able to think about our behavior, how we should behave in order to decide what to say and what to do in a given situation. Yes, intention, our intention, our mindset, isn't it? Everything. And this is the human value. We are we have to think in terms of the human values. All these things, kindness, love, caring, about all these things. Because God has given us a thinking capacity, a mind to think, and how we behave and what we do, we should evaluate that in the moral terms. That is very, very important. Then, when we are thinking, we should think in terms of moral value. Morality has to do with the way we live our lives. We cannot say, I am always, it's my wish. You ask a child to curb, control that. I cannot do every time what I wish. Oh, that's not possible. I cannot follow. I sometimes I have to calm down. Sometimes, even if I'm not wishing and I'm not willing, I have to do. Why I have to do? Because it is required. That particular situation, that particular situation. And this is the thing which we have to teach. Our education should be like this is the thing. Morality. We neglect. I don't wait. Simply, you find this word. Oh, I don't like. I don't have the mood. I don't want. So this is the thing. But the thing is not that. The thing is, it is my duty to do this, and I am going to do this. That is the willpower, and that has to be done. Now, again, the next thing comes morality helps you to judge between right and wrong. Right or wrong. See, this particular word, right or wrong, differs from person to person. What I think right might be wrong for you, or what you think wrong might be right for me. A balance has to be maintained, and a proper moral education helps me to decide, find the difference. Once we know the difference between the two, we can do what is right and avoid what is wrong. Just, just think. When we think and we are able to decide that, yes, what I'm doing is right, I have to, I have the right moral values. I have the right that I will do. I don't like to get up early in the morning. now, which is a very great problem for the children, particularly. hmm, They get up at 10, 11 in the but getting up early in the morning is a very good habit. But if you are convinced, if your morality says, no, I have to take this, do the traditional way of worship in the morning. Hey, who is going to? I don't feel like doing that. But if you are convinced that yes, I have to do, you will do and avoid. I'm not saying getting up early in the morning is a requirement, or that is not my point. My point is that doing the thing which you considered right and has got certain benefits and problems that has to be evaluated all the time. Find out what is right and what is wrong, isn't it? Morality has to do with the way we live in our life. We will have a decent life only when we live on the values, on the moral values. It helps to judge the difference between right and wrong. And right and wrong is a very critical thing which depends on the person and person only. It is solely each one's parameter of right and wrong differs because each one of us have a different set of thinking capability. Each one of us have a different set of thinking capability. Now, just principles of moral values should provide guidance to make a choice in the complicated world. See, in today's complicated world, we cannot be all good and become a sadhu and leave the society. We cannot do that. We cannot be all good. Rather, we should not again be all bad. Then we will be devils. That is also not required. What the moral values require us is to balance between good and bad. And balancing between the good and bad is the basic challenge of every day. Every morning we have to stand up and say, oh, this is good, I should do, I should do. From the birth till the death, what has to do with those things, isn't it? Now let us speak something about education. Education, in a general sense, is the form of learning in which the knowledge, skills, and habits of a group of people are transferred from one generation to the next generation. Yes, education for me is that values, habit, knowledge, skills which will transfer from one generation to other. To qualify education, some skills, some knowledge, which we and some habits too. The example like getting up early in the morning or doing or worshipping in the morning. These are some of the rituals we generally follow in the Indian homes. These are our habits, these are our skills, or we gain knowledge also. The other day, I was hearing Sadhguru, and here in his lecture, he was telling how a person can change his perspective of life if he does one simple example thing. What is that? Just getting up in the morning before the sun and its rays are making an angle of 30-degree. Look at the sky and feel the sun, the rising sun. What does the sun do for the earth? Then you will imbibe those qualities within you. And then you will have a vibrant day. This was his philosophy. This is then I thought of it is nothing but Surya Namaskar, which was given up. And in many families, Surya Arg and Surya Namaskar, all these things are practiced. This is, and they lead such type of life. This is education also because a knowledge is there, a skill is there, and it has turned into the habit, which is transformed from generation to generation. And we carry this our traditional way. Now, what is we have the mindset. So, with education, we reset our mind. We listen, we listen many things, but we trust some. We listen throughout the day. We listen many things. Trust something, imbibe the value, and embrace, develop a sense, and allow. See, knowledge is free at the library. Just bring your container. Container means yourself. Container here means your mindset. There are many things you do that, but how much we accept, how much we put it into our habit. Knowledge is of no use. It's just be a gospel unless it is put into skill and the skill turned into habit. Unless we do that, we cannot progress. Education gives a vision. See, this TV screen is a vision, and through which the students are seeing their hopes of future, how he will be in the future with this education. But here, what are we doing? What are we educating our children? If the child doesn't write properly his answers or doesn't score proper marks, mama is saying or papa is saying, even the teachers are saying, what? Hey, what you will become? Your future is gone. You will become a sweeper. You will become a low grade clerk or this. So we are degrading. We are simply degrading. Is education meant for that? Just to get something and in terms of the materialistic thing? No, education has some moral aspects also. We should be a proper gentleman. We should see what type of person I am. Because at the end of the day, at the end of the life, what type of person you are, it will only be counted. Not that what I had, how much luxuries I have enjoyed. This is no where. See, 100 years from now, it will not matter what my bank account was. Today, what my bank account is, it doesn't have any meaning. After 100 years, what sort of house it lived in? It's not the kind of car I drove. But the world may be different because I be, because I was important in the life of my child. I have imbibed certain moral values. If education says that I am there for certain materialistic gains only, then that is of no use. Although materialistic gain is essential, but not everything. The value system which we have is what very important, and we will take it to generations to come. Now, with this, what does it? It's the growth mindset for the student. What does education give you? It is setting up a mindset for the student. Now, with knowledge is just like a bulb which gives you, which makes you aware. What am I missing? I'm missing something. Then it tells you whether you are on the right track. Are you doing what you are doing? Are you doing it right? This may take some time for or effort. Then you realize that if I'm not doing right, I have to change. It may take some time. And I will train, and then it gives a determination that I will train my brain to change. I will train my brain to change. I can always improve. See, this is the most important thing of education. I can, because it puts the willpower in the students. I can always improve. And so I will keep on trying. Practice makes the man perfect. This reminds me of the first grammarian, Panini, who wrote the first book of grammar known to the human civilization. What was he? He was both Dave. He was no one but both Dave, hailing from an educated family, and the curricle he could not do. And he was sent back to the house by his teacher. Then, the when he was going, he felt thirsty. He passed the well where few ladies were drawing water from the well. He requested them to give some water. The ladies gave. Okay. And they were offering water. This both the eyes fell on the stone cuts, the scars on the stone, which were caused by the simple coming and going of the rope. Then a thought came to his mind, if the simple rope can cut the stone, and I practice and practice the thing, I cannot be a proper student. This feeling, he ran to his teacher again, to his Gurukul, said, "Sir, this is what I have experienced. This is my feeling. So let it take any time, but I will try. I'll try and think, and I will simply do." This feelings, this awareness of this boy made the person change. And he, later on, he was Pandit Panini, who wrote the first grammar book. So trying, thinking, and then trying, that makes the difference. Here he makes, thereafter, after trying, he makes some strategies. I have learned. See, mistakes. One should not be worried about the mistake. One who says, "I don't commit any mistake," is that wrong? Is that wrong? Is wrong. He's saying lies. Everyone, is there anyone who says, who has never committed any mistake? But what is wrong? To commit the mistake, the same mistake again and again. From mistake, we learn, and then we try to do better. We have to work out how better we can be of ourselves. I have, and what should be my thinking process? I have tried hard enough. There, now, I have tried hard enough. I have done my best. Isn't it the great feeling? Just get through it, and you will find you have a very great feeling of joy, feeling of happiness after getting that. And that is what education should bring. Now, see, what education must stimulate all the aspects of human existence. Now, material aspect in this world. Yes, we capacity in physical means we should not be uh, ill, diseased, academic and vocational progress. These are very, very much required. Why? Because without this, we cannot sustain. I say, oh, material aspect is not, I will not touch money, I will not do. Then how can I get food? I will not have. If I don't have money, who will feed me? How can I get? Yes. So material aspect is not totally neglected, but there should be a balance. Now, then the second aspect of education is new vision. See, why are some people great and some people are not able to do? Elon Musk, why is known everywhere? Because of his capacity, because his vision, new vision. He has the capacity, he has the determination. Whatever it may be, I will do, and I will try something new. And one who does new things, he he suffers, he or she suffers, but is after achieving, he is respected and he develops. Just in this respect, I would like to quote one just few days back, 1 or 2 days back, on the demise of our legendary Lata Mangeshkar ji, a surgeon, a well-known surgeon. He was saying, he, he was saying in the speech, "Thou, I tried to do my work in the way Lata Mangeshkar sang." Just at the first, when I heard the sentence, now how singing and surgery, there's a two dimension of the thing. Then I listened to him, then he said, Lata Mangeshkar, what Lataji sang in her 13th year of her life. And what she sang in 87 and 90 years of her life, the tonality was same. How it could be? It could be because she had worked, practiced, practice. That is, that made her what she was. A simple Hema turned to be Lata Mangeshkar by her practice only. That is the. Now, the next aspect of education is moral. New heart that beats with the impulse of strong moral and spiritual. Now, strong is very difficult to have strong moral values when you see other people, others around you getting by doing the other things, they are successful. Then, why? If I tell a lie, I can escape from the situation. Why the hell I should stand here and tell the truth all the time and invite problems for me? But the thing is that is important to telling the truth. Because if you have, when you tell the truth, you don't have to make stories associated with it. Stories associated with it. Just finish the work. But when you say a lie, you have to make story, you have to frame, you have to connect, correlate the incidents. Otherwise, you will be caught. So there is the more importance of the thing. Now, common problems with the moral education. Disagreement on the common set of values. Yes, there are a lot. Or some says this is good, and some says that is good. This doesn't have a common criteria. That is one of the problem of the moral education. Now, again, the next problem is we are more concerned. Just think of how much time do we give to the moral education. Hmm? If you have to do with English, science, maths, then obviously the elders and Even the child will say, oh, give more important, practice math. That's very important. Practice math. That is very important. Why are you after the moral stories? Oh, it won't fetch more. Here comes the question. Math gives you a skill. No doubt about it. But moral values makes you whom you are. Moral values makes you whom you are. And that is something which we have to, being the educators, we have to teach. Now, disregard to the pedagogies. Now, moral, oh, the same thing, negligence. Now, another thing, most not a priority with the parents. Now in India today, we find the joint family breaking down and nuclear family, parenthood, mother and father are working. That is the scenario of every family. The child is left behind to do the work, and mostly in this COVID situation, they have the online classes. They have the online classes, and there what they do, I find mainly the children, I'm not saying all, sorry, I'm not saying all, but I'm saying most unscrupulous practices they are. To fetch mark is the objective of their education, because mama will come, papa will come in the evening and tell, oh, how much marks did you get in your test? So if I copy it down and get good marks, well, over, isn't it? Isn't it? Where are the moral values? Previously we had a joint family. Again, the stories of our history is not delivered to the children. I remember in my childhood, there was the series of books, Amar Chitra Katha, which had the pictorial representation of the heroes of the country or incident, Ramayana, Mahabharata, and many other stories of great leaders, all these things. But today, the children don't have that. Neither are the poor children, neither the parents are there, neither being the nuclear family, other relatives are also not there. Poor child, busy with the all sort of gadgets. Sometimes gadgets are bad. I don't say the gadgets are always bad, but who is guiding the child to see, to tell them what is good and what is bad? No one is left. Whatever he pleases does. And this is one of the very great problem in the moral education. Again, the next part is on the part of the teacher and the schools. Priority to moral education. Moral education is considered to be a minor subject. It is not a major subject. Hmm? It is not as important as English, Hindi, or something, language, or the skills, or information. It is not. But is it really the thing? Is moral education not very important? Now, what should be the approach of the modern education methodology? An integrated approach, direct model, moral, education classes along with the whole school approach. Every class is a moral education class, and the teacher is the most important person who can impart the moral education. You will agree with me, the teacher's personality has a great impact on the child. And that is very important, because the teacher gives certain or imprints something in the heart of the child, and the and no one in this world have that eraser to rub it out. That is the strength of the teacher, and the teacher should use his or her strength to be the moral educator. A comprehensive approach. Everybody in a school is a moral education teacher. Student centric approach and cooperative learning. This as some of the ways we can. Now, two protagonists of moral leadership, as I discussed, the parents and the family, the teacher and the teachers and the school. The onus is on the teachers in the school to help future generation imbibe appropriate, systematic, and structured manner. Isn't it? Is it not necessary? What type of man the child will be depends upon the teacher and the school also. But at the same time, a proper atmosphere of love, kindness should be given to the child at home. The home and the school can make good citizens and ultimately a very good nation. Now, role of the teacher in the moral education. Instruct. Teacher is the instructor. Now, teacher is the instructor. Yes, every teacher has the right to instruct and is instructing. There's no teacher who can overrule this. Yes, but the question arises, how many teachers are the real encourager to the child? If the child is encouraged to do the work, obviously the child will succeed. The child should praise. The personality of the teacher should be such that he or she influences the child. The teacher should share. Obviously, every teacher shares the knowledge, guide, and inspire. That's how a teacher is made. Instruct, encourage, praise, influence, share, guide, and inspire. Now, if we are able to keep proper moral education, there are two aspects which will be affected very much. That is the individual transformation, moral purposes of the life will be solved. Freedom from prejudice of all kind, inner discipline, and residue of conduct. Conduct means good conduct. And how the society will benefit. Contribution to the better society and a better nation. Now, here, yes, and this slide, I'm going to give you a pie. which if you practice, say that I cannot do that here. Just think, I, this word, I cannot do that here. Here, I reflect myself, my identity, cannot, my beliefs and thoughts. There's a positive, negative, you have to balance between them. Do represents the capability, and that represents the behavior which I put on. And where? In this environment. This picture is the best example of how our beliefs and values can change the whole game, can turn the table in the favor, and can make things happen exactly the way we want. But the real question here is, are we willing to change our beliefs? This is our real question. Are we willing to change? Think of it. That is the thought of the day. Start your day with a positive mindset and be aware of how you behave and act the whole day in terms of your work, health, and relationship. Yes. With this, I with this, my talk is over. Now,
Thank you so much, ma'am. And it was such lovely to listen to such impactful thoughts that you had and the vision that you carry along. We all are human beings and we have our own liberty of committing errors and mistakes in our lives. That is how we learn. And the key point is to have the moral values inculcated in our character, imbibe in such values that define your personality and the character. And with the given kind of education system that we have around, you very well pointed out that how education can reset our mind and how morality enhances it further, strengthening the character of any individual. So here I would like to have one view from you that when we talk about the moral values of students where they come from different backgrounds and varied cultures where as you pointed out in your presentation how important and vital it is to give a chance to the ladies first. So basic inculcation of all these values right from the childhood is of utmost importance. So, how do you see that? What are different ways of telling the children, not pointing it out to them, but to make them realize by making them feel that how important it is? How can that be done with the children with tender age, with younger generation?
madam, thank you, madam, for the wonderful question. Now I tell. See, children learn better by observing than by our speeches. If we say, "Hey, child, don't do that," or "do this," the child won't listen to me. If I do this, he's doing something wrong. And I simply correct him by doing the correct action. He will observe me. The next time, he will do it. Examples are better than the speech. That is what I feel.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for having answered that question from one of the viewers. And it was really wonderful to listening to you. And with that, we wind up our today's session. And thanks to all our dear viewers also who joined us this afternoon, Sunday afternoon, and had such a great session with Ma'am Devaroti Dutta, and this session based on moral values and education would definitely join several hands, many more hands for this disruptive education movement to shape up the minds of the next generation of students and inspire the leaders today for this movement. Thank you very much, everyone, and let us see
Just
each
a minute.
other in yet another talk conducted by Global Education and Training Institute.
I want to express my gratitude to Getty. I must say, it's a wonderful place where you can express, particularly the educators like me who want to express. I want to express myself, and this is the very good platform. And the way I want to thank everyone here in Getty, especially Madam Sunita Gandhi, and you, Madam Sunita, how you have guided me to come up in this. Thank you very much, Madam.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us. Thank you, everyone, and see you in yet another talk conducted by Global Education and Training Institute. Till then, we sign off from now.